Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Blacklogic. So there were a lot of drama today in the White House with President Zelenskyy, Vice President J.D. Vance, and President Donald Trump. This was a high-stakes meeting between these two powerhouses, essentially. Well, our side is a powerhouse, their side is a small house. But President Zelenskyy and President Donald Trump devolved into a very fiery exchange. And this is on the anticipated signing of a minerals deal, and it was abrupted and halted after tensions flared in the Oval Office. Now, the meeting began cordially at first, focusing on the proposed agreement that will grant the U.S. access to Ukraine's rich deposits of rare earth minerals. However, the atmosphere quickly soured because President Trump accused President Zelenskyy of lacking gratitude for U.S. support, stating, "You have done..." Wow, they was going at it here in the Oval Office. It stated that you have a damn good chance of coming out because of us. Vice President J.D. Vance echoed the sentiment, suggesting that Zelenskyy was overpaying his hand. Now, in response, Zelenskyy firmly rejected any notion of compromising with Russian President Vladimir Putin, emphasizing Ukraine's sovereignty and resilience. The confrontation escalated to the point where the planned press conference and the signing ceremony was canceled. President Trump took to social media declaring, "I have determined that President Zelenskyy is not ready for peace if America is involved." This public rebuke underscores the deep division that we're witnessing here. And we're going to cover it. We're going to go over some of the video. And matter of fact, a segment of the fire exchange between these two, because it was not only President Donald Trump, but it was J.D. Vance hitting hard punches at President Zelenskyy. You guys have to watch this. I know you probably already seen it, but we're going to do a little bit of commentary here to break a couple of things down. But I definitely want you guys to listen at this exchange.
Align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America. And for the good of the world, I'm aligned with the world. And I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I can.
Now, for quite some time, people have been asking Donald Trump to be presidential. And believe me, I'm not jumping on the fanboy train, so let's just stop that right there. But I will say this. His responses initially, in this initial portion that I'm showing you guys, is very, very presidential. And don't forget, he's a businessman. He knows how to go out and negotiate for what he wants. So what is he telling us? He's telling us, why would I say bad things about Putin, then come to the table with Putin and say, hey, can we sign the ceasefire agreement? That's why he said, I'm not aligned with Ukraine and I'm not aligned with Russia. I'm aligned with the United States of America and I'm aligned with the world. I want innocent people to stop being killed, because Trump, as the American president, he's being the mediator, but also we are the financier of Ukraine. Now, again, to his point, we can understand the hatred of President Zelenskyy. Started a war, invaded his land, okay, killing his people. But what Donald Trump is saying, yeah, you have a lot of hatred for President Putin of Russia, but we have to come and be level-headed, because you're trying to fight a war you cannot win without America. But you want America to continue to fund a war that we know won't be over for a very long time. And eventually, America will have to enter this war that has nothing to do with us. You have all these European countries over here a lot closer to you, but look at where you are. This became very fiery. I think you guys need to tune in and listen up.
I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, For 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was,
he killed,
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversations.
Now, if you guys are not aware of this initial meeting, because the crux of the meeting was a proposed minerals deal aimed at granting the U.S. access to Ukraine's vast reserves of rare earth elements. Now, essentially for various industries, including defense and technology. The initial framework suggests that Ukraine would allocate 50% of its mineral resource revenues to a joint investment fund with the United States, intended to spur economic development and attract private investment. However, the deal faced criticism for lacking explicit security guarantees for Ukraine. And that is the reason why President Zelenskyy showed up, so he can protest in front of the American people. That is my conjecture. Because during this meeting, he expressed concern, stating that the success of the agreement hinged on securing such assurances. Say, okay, yeah, you want to make a deal without rare earth minerals, but we don't have any security guarantees from the United States of America. And we're like, oh, the economic deal is the economic deal. This is something totally different. So the absence of these guarantees, coupled with the Oval Office confrontation, cast doubt on the future deal. And here's something else that I want you guys to think about. Do not forget that President Putin actually offered these same rare earth minerals with the seized land of Ukraine. I wonder how Donald Trump is going about thinking about that.
And we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God bless.
What did he just say? Now, people know that attacking America from the air, sea, or land is very difficult because we have natural defenses in our oceans. And I'm trying to figure out, because of his strong accent, did he say that those part of the islands will be filled and people will be able to invade America? Is that what he stated? Again, that's almost like an empty attack. As a president, being very public as Zelensky was, that was very, that has kind of made me think, what are you referring to? What is going on? Listen to that again.
Nice ocean, and don't feel now, but you will feel it all during the war. Everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean, and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You
God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us.
That was pretty low. And again, I'm thinking that, and I'm not saying everybody has to be, cordial when we're having discussions, but this is public. This whole Oval Office meeting was about signing the deal for the minerals. But again, they should have been very careful how they went about this, because he already came over here stating that he wants security guarantees before he signed any minerals deal. And the conversation slowly led to the very pivotal point where things start to escalate astronomically. And you could already tell Donald Trump is one step away from backing out of Ukraine 100%. Say, you deal with it yourself. And he's probably only 2 steps away of actually doing this mineral deal with Russia. Now, and again, the international conflict and backlash is going to come out. So again, he should not be, again, he's a president. I'm just saying he shouldn't be too quick to make a decision on this. This blew up.
That's what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
I have to take my hat off to Donald Trump, that very business sort of, he's upset. And I can understand why President Zelenskyy is upset. And I don't know why people in some demographics are taking President Zelensky's side, like your roly-poly Martins. Let me pop this up. This guy right here, Roland Martin, he's a straight fool. He's a straight fool. Trump is absolutely a Russian too, because he didn't want to say anything negative about Putin. And he's trying to stop a war from these two countries with all the innocent life being killed. Like, again, President Zelenskyy is in a down position. He has come to America for our assistance and our support. He understands without America, he's going to lose his war. But why is he talking tough in the Oval Office? Again, you're the president of your country. Yeah, there's dignity, there's pride, there's honor. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be in the fetal position for my country so my countrymen don't get wiped out and annihilated by Russia. He should be very thankful, very grateful. And there's some things that you need to handle behind closed doors. We understand that, yeah, you had a ceasefire agreement prior to Russia, and they broke the ceasefire agreement. For a time, you guys had peace. What do you expect Donald Trump to do with a powerful force like Russia that we're really not at war with, and you have other European countries within your region that's supposed to be helping you more so than the Americans? And this is the same European countries up until about a couple of months ago was receiving all of their energy, all of their oil, fuel, and gas from the same country that's at war with you, Russia. How does that make sense? Coming over here and touting your chest.
Not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you.
I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the pungent, the dignified, the stupidity of President Zelensky. I'm not getting it. He said, you are gambling with World War III. I'm trying to establish a ceasefire. I'm trying to make a deal. And you're telling me how much you hate Putin and how you don't want to make a deal. And like, you're really going to annihilate millions of people in your country. I'm not taking Donald Trump's side, but this is all making sense to me. If I'm here for the livelihood of my country, you think I'm going to be acting like this in the Oval Office on national TV? Absolutely not.
You're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to
respect
you.
to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can I-
trouble.
can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave, but they had to use our military.
What about we are
If
speaking?
you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment,
Like I told you guys before, it got very, 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 very heated. And Ukraine, they could lose this investment, which may hinder the development of its mineral resources, potentially slowing their economic recovery. So again, he can be hurting the country two ways. No mineral deal, because no other country is trying to give him this mineral deal. And no aid or support. Whether it be military equipment, funding, military strategists, none of that. America's one step away from getting out of this whole Ukraine-Russia altogether. Because Donald Trump he seems as though he's highly focused on repairing America. So again, Zelensky is really testing us. He's really testing us.
this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks.
Oh, this guy is very disrespectful. So Donald Trump said if it wasn't for America, the war would have been over in 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. Putin said it would be over in 3 days. Yeah. Very disrespectful in the Oval Office against the most powerful country in the world, which you need help from. Again, pride and ego can be very, very dangerous when you need something. Your pride and your ego can be very, very dangerous. But a lot of people are like, ain't no let nobody disrespect me. Listen, if my family need to eat and I have to take some harsh words for a couple of minutes, let me tell you, my pride, ego, and that so-called respect that I have is going to be very diminished so I can feed my family, so I can save my family or save my country in his case.
Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times thank you to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
It doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
That
what
wasn't
is-
with me.
It
That was with
wasn't
a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have.
Did Donald Trump just make that up on the fly? Obama gave sheets, Trump gave javelins. Did he just, was that some sort of branding advertisement plug it? Donald Trump is a character.
Have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make, because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you
but
saying?
what
She's
if
asking,
Russia-
what if Russia
Putin
breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
But they have
Okay?
broken
What if they
ceasefire
broke it?
many
I don't know.
times.
They broke it with Biden, because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
But what-
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that.
All right. So that's pretty much the conversation at hand. Again, the question that she had at the end there was, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire? And he said, what if a bomb falls from the sky? That's not his concern. His concern is having a deal on the table and then putting pressure on Russia to withhold that deal. So again, President Zelenskyy, in my opinion, was very disrespectful being in the position that he's in. He literally, like Trump said, he has no cards, he has no weight, he has no leverage. He don't have enough money, he don't have enough men, he doesn't have enough support, he don't have enough military technology to defend himself. But you come to America and be disrespectful. I just had to cover that very quickly, guys. You guys have a great and wonderful evening. This is Blacklogic.